And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the home team. The home team is brought to you in part by Grace Family Church. Just try it. By Tampa area Chick-fil-A restaurants. By Vermost Insurance. By Mahoney's Auto Repair. By the Home Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. By Irish 31, the place to catch your favorite team in action. By Iceman Development, LLC. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the home team. A different look to the home team today because we have two people in studio that aren't normally here today, and the one that is normally here is not here today, Jason Alessi. But we have a guy that you'll recognize from previous shows. It's been a while, about a month or so since he's been on, and that is John. Lean forward just a little bit so the people can see that you're here on Facebook Live. Look in the far right side of your screen there. There you go. Now you're seeing John. John Bychek is here, and people have already asked, where's John? And we've missed John, but because of the switching stations and now broadcasting from Clearwater, John is not able to make it here every Saturday, but he'll be here, right, John, from time to time.
We'll make guest appearances occasionally.
Okay. All right. And the other guy you're seeing, Big Ed, is with us. Big Ed, welcome.
I'm the not normal guy.
You're the staple of the TAN Talk Radio Network here. You make things run, and we appreciate you taking time to sit in with us today on the program, and lots to talk about. We are on the final weekend of the baseball season, of the regular baseball season. The Rays will have a game on Tuesday at Tropicana Field. The opponent and the time to be determined. But, John, it's looking more and more like it'll be the Toronto Blue Jays. That'll be their third straight series after having played at Tropicana Field, and this weekend in Toronto. And now Tuesday, it'll start back up in Tampa Bay.
A little hiatus in Boston to go split that game. But, yes, it looks like it's going to be Toronto, and it, quite frankly, scares me a little bit, particularly with our injuries we've got. As we were talking earlier with Big Ed, Rayleigh's out, Siri's still out. Diaz finally came back, but he's got a little tightness. Rosarena's got tightness. Our pitching staff, Jason Adams is on. We've got some challenges. We got to come through.
These injuries have been popping up all year, and they've managed to patchwork and get it to somehow continue to win. But, Ed, I guess you have to wonder how many times can you go to the well and bring guys up from Durham and try and patchwork it all together now that you're heading into the playoffs.
First off, I want to congratulate the Rays on their celebration of second place on Wednesday night. I had a little party for being second place. I don't think that Eric Meander, who's the general manager, gets enough credit for the players that he's. I don't know how much is Kevin Cash. I'm not, no bones about it. I'm not a Kevin Cash fan. I've said that over the years. I don't know. I understand how he can have so many pitchers be on the IR when he babies them, but his philosophy and doing things, I don't get. Not enough credit is given to the front office in bringing up these players. Yes, they keep finding players. You don't even hear about Wander Franco anymore. I mean, who was supposed to be the savior coming in. Mm-hmm. But now they've got other players coming up. But, man, there's some big names on there. Do you realize? I didn't realize it. This year, the Tampa Bay Rays went through 40 pitchers. 40 throughout the season. 40 pitchers.
Yeah. It's a huge number, but it doesn't surprise me because we always
don't get it though. Why? What? Because Kevin Cash is on a pit. He's got his pitchers on a pitch count. And why is it that he babies them so much, but so many are going on with these devastating injuries? I'm not talking about a hamstring or a quad or something. I'm talking about Tommy John surgery.
Want to say hello to Haley and Donald, both watching us on Facebook Live today. And this is the worst time to have it all kind of fall down. And last night 11-4 was the final score, just one game, and the Blue Jays are still playing for something, but the Rays look like they weren't even interested in being there last night, and they're just playing out the string for the final couple of games.
I don't think they're playing out the string. I think they're trying to get, as they're resting the right players, getting these rookies, as he said, to the pitchers in a different atmosphere, like bringing Littell in to maybe throw an inning or two because he'll possibly be a relief pitcher in the series, because you're going to go with your three starters. Bringing Todd Bradley in late in the game to put him in that environment of, hey, this is maybe a high leverage situation. Although it wasn't high leverage, they're trying to throw him in the 7th or 8th inning to just kind of give him that experience. They played a lot of rookies. Meade's getting playing time. Romero's, the kid Caminero is getting some playing time as well. But back to Big Ed's point, I think if we're coming after your pitcher, we know something that you don't know, because they do our scouting department. And I'm not a huge – I think Kevin Cash manages from the iPad and the analytics. I think he would be a lot better manager if they let him manage the game. He does a good job putting the players in and out, but it's all analytics. Okay, we got to bring this guy out at 4 2/3 inning and not get him the win and bring somebody in because it's a left-handed matchup. But that's coming from Peter Bendex, general manager. Eric Neander is president of baseball operations. Bendex is the general manager right now.
Mm-hmm. Good points. All good points. The stadium is now official. Well, it will be when the county commission and the city of St. Petersburg City Council votes for it. But I understand that's just a formality. And John, do you think that is something that Tampa Bay Rays fans can celebrate, or is it too early to celebrate that just yet?
I'm going to celebrate because I had two bets. People, one developer and one real estate mogul over there. They said they swore it was going to be an Ebor, and I had dinner bet on it. So I'm going to celebrate with two dinners. I think we look at what's happening. I think we've got Major League Baseball in the area. That's what I've always been about. I've been even though I was Hillsborough, I was a group called the Clutch Hitters. We wanted to keep baseball in Tampa Bay, and I think that's the important thing. And Mayor Castor said it best. We wanted it in Tampa Bay. We've got it in Tampa Bay. Maybe we lost. Hillsborough County just did not have the money to do it.
Yeah. And if you want to go to a baseball game, Tropicana Field, it's not the most convenient place, but still, it's a lot better, I think, Ed, than having to go to Orlando or Charlotte or Nashville to see this team.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why for years it didn't work down there. Now all of a sudden it's going to, with a new stadium. I mean, it's going to be 72 degrees in whatever building they build, just like the Trop is right now, and it's going to have windows in it.
Yeah.
Yay! I mean, that's the difference. Basically, you're going to have a building with windows.
Yeah.
To make it look like it's outside.
Yeah.
So is that going to be enough of a draw? I mean, to me,
initially it will for the first few years, I think.
This year the ownership has finally realized it's with attendance-wise, because attendance is up, because they've lowered the prices. For years they would, and they're actually doing promotions and making fun for kids to come in. But for years they didn't do that, and they wondered, well, why aren't people coming? Well, now people are starting to make it. But if you make it affordable, because there's a lot of games, and they're weird hours, 12 o'clock on a Wednesday. Sorry, I work.
Yeah.
I can't expect to be there. But finally, I think they're getting the realization that you have to be with the times and lower the prices a bit. Now, what's it going to be like in a new building? And where's all the money going to go?
Yeah, you may not see the $10 tickets.
Right. And
building.
Does that mean now they're going to spend on players? Because what they're doing right now is working.
They said they want to
low
spend more
payroll
money.
works.
They said they want to spend more money on players. But I think they're trying to build similar to the Battery in Atlanta, similar to some of these new stadiums where you've got the development around it with affordable housing. St. Pete's blown up last 5 years, and they've got 18,000 people. And I think the key to the attendance increase has been the rule changes with the pitch count, with the stealing. There's a lot more excitement. The games are 220, 225, 230 now. And I think they're counting on that. They're building the convention center and things like that. They only need you, Big Ed, to go to 10 games a year, 10 walk-up games if you're not a season ticket holder. That will probably, if they can get enough people to do 10 walk-up games and go to games with a family or by yourself, I keep telling Jason that, but I think he goes to one a year maybe.
Well, and I think the reason that you're seeing an attendance spike is the time of the game. A lot of people that aren't interested in a 3.5 or 4 hour game, but they'll go for 2.5 hours. So I think that's had a lot to do with it as well. Speaking of Jason, he is on hold with us right now. So let's bring Jason in. Jason, welcome to the home team.
Good. Thank you. How you doing, guys?
Doing good, thank you. Glad to have you on with us. I know that you've got some personal business to take care of today. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us on the program, and want to get your thoughts on. We haven't got to the Bucs yet, but last week was a bit of a reality check. The Eagles dominated from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, and the Bucs, as a measuring stick, saw where they are as far as the NFC teams are concerned.
Well, that's absolutely right. Philadelphia was a far superior team, and the Eagles are, you could argue, one of the top 3 teams in the league. So I think that's basically what that was. I mean, the Bucs certainly could have played better, but they ran up against a much better team. They're just nowhere near that level yet. Now, having said that, looking where they're at, they're 2-1. They've gotten off to a very nice start. All the other teams in the division in the NFC South lost last week as well. So they've got a big division game this week with the Saints. You know, that's an opportunity if they can bounce back and win. And then they have the bye week. You'd love for them to be able to go into the bye week 3-1. But regardless of what happens, you know, I still think you got to look at them. They're off to a good start. There's a ton of parity in the league. I mean, we saw Dallas, as good as they looked the first 2 weeks, go and lose to Arizona, and we've seen a lot of other upsets. And yeah, the 2 teams the Bucs beat, the Vikings and Bears, really don't look to be. They're not very good, but still, it's the NFL. There's no such thing as an easy game, as a gimme game. And the Bucs in those 2 games did play well. They were up against a much better team in the Eagles last Monday night.
I want to say hello to Gordy and Pat. Gordy in the Tampa Bay area, Pat in Canada, watching the program on Facebook Live. Glad to have you with us, Pat. And so now I think the Saints are a team that's probably about as good as the Buccaneers. I think we'll find out a lot, John, on Sunday when they take on the Saints. And Derek Carr may or may not play. That's, I think, a game-time decision for New Orleans.
I think so, and I want to bounce this off of Jason. You know, I was a little disappointed with Canales. Got the safety trying to run the ball up the middle. I thought we were going to get a little bit more creative, and that was a perfect time for a swing pass. But in the NFL, you're supposed to correct week to week. If I'm not mistaken, Philadelphia had over 250 yards rushing the week previous to our week. You got to stop that. They were great in between the 20s. They had trouble in the red zone, and they're not clicking on all cylinders right now. But I'm just a little worried about, are we going to get creative and what's going to happen for moving forward?
Want to ask Jason and Ed, did we make a mistake in not re-signing Leonard Fournette? Would that have helped the running game?
I don't think it would have made it. I don't think it would have made a difference. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Bucs right now, they're 2-1. Did anybody in this room or on the phone think they would be 3-0 at this point?
No,
probably not. So we should probably say, well, they're pretty good. But like Jason said, the teams they've beaten haven't beaten anybody yet.
Yeah.
But now here we're 3 games in. And now our quarterback, Baker Mayfield, says, we've got a problem. We've got a problem on offense. It's not aggressive. 3 games in. Well,
and he's an aggressive quarterback. Yes. That's how he likes to play.
And he's only on a 1-year deal, so he's got to get it done this year.
Mm-hmm.
But
so does Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles can't blame this one on Byron Leftwich, because you got a whole new offensive coordinator, and it's the same thing. It's like you can put Tom Brady back in there, and it's going to be the same offense, because that's what the head coach wants. Even though he's a defensive coordinator, this is the system that he wants. He doesn't want the no risk it or biscuit, and fly it down the field. He wants short, medium passes. And you know what? When you brought up that first and what was it on the 1 foot line?
Yeah.
And they ran up the middle. I turned it off.
Yeah. You guys, I think that the real issue that they were beaten at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's ultimately what it came down to. The Bucs, I think, were trying to run their offense, but when Philadelphia, you blew up the line, and again, very little time to throw, no running game. They also had some drops. He had some uncharacteristic drops by Mike Evans. He made a great catch later on in the game, but there were a couple early on. The ball was there, and that could have either extended drives. I think in one position could have gotten a touchdown, and he dropped the ball. So that kind of could have made a little difference there. Baker Mayfield has done a better job of protecting the football. That was only his first interception of the season in that game. But, look, you got to take this as a learning experience. They played up against a much better team, and they showed that, some of the things that they were doing for the first couple of weeks against inferior teams, that's not going to work necessarily against the better teams. So you hope they learn from that and they move forward with this game. Still, 2-1 is 2-1. That's a decent way to start the season. That's still not bad at all, especially when you consider the division that they play in, where there's no dominant teams at all.
Jason, before we let you go, you always check the college football menu for Saturday, and what's on tap this weekend?
Sure. Well, locally, with our local teams, a big game at noon with Florida and Kentucky. Florida, of course, lost their first game against Utah. They've rebounded nicely since then with 3 straight wins, including a big one against Tennessee. Kentucky is undefeated, and the game is at Kentucky, so that's going to be a big one at noon. USF plays against Navy later on at 3:30. The Bulls already 2-2, have already surpassed their win total of last year. I think their new coach Alex Golish has got them playing much better football. And he's got them on the right track. And in terms of other games, they got USC is playing Colorado. You're going to have Alabama later against Mississippi State, Georgia against Auburn. You've got Texas versus Kansas, and also later tonight an intriguing matchup with Notre Dame and Duke. Notre Dame's coming off a really heartbreaking last play loss to Ohio State at home. They're still ranked number 11, and Duke is off to a surprising undefeated start. I think they're number 17, so that's going to be a pretty intriguing game later on tonight.
All right, very good. Well, we appreciate it. Jason, we'll look forward to having you back in studio next Saturday, and thanks again for being part of the show today.
Absolutely, fellas. Take care.
All right. Show. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Jason Alessi joining us, and always good to have Jason with us. He's out doing some personal business today, but he'll be back in studio next Saturday. So we look forward to having him on board with us. We're overdue for a break. We'll talk some lightning when we come back. I haven't even given out the phone numbers. I am so sorry about that. But you can join us right now. We have open lines at 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000, or toll free anywhere in the country at 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. Let's see if John still remembers how to do this. You have more of the home team coming up on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, 1350, 106.1, and 104.3, and on Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the 3-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. Looking for a trusted lender to purchase or refinance a home? We recommend Brett Rupenthal with Mortgage Equity Partners, a direct lender offering unique programs to help people in all situations and financial backgrounds. Whether you are a first-time home buyer, savvy investor, or just looking to save money, Brett Rupenthal and Mortgage Equity Partners is the lender to talk to. Brett Rupenthal is branch manager with Mortgage Equity Partners, direct lender offering residential home loans. To reach Brett, simply text the words Home Team to 844-4LOAN-00. Brett can answer all your loan questions and provide fast pre-approvals. Find out about Brett's groundbreaking programs, like his famous rate protection, lock to shop, and equity savings programs. To work with a direct lender that Home Team personally trusts, simply text the words Home Team to 844-4LOAN-00. Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
Hundreds of sets of gently used golf clubs is what you'll find at T&D Golf Stores. Conveniently located at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half a mile west of Dale Mabry, T&D has the best repair facility with the largest selection of grips in stock. You'll find a wide variety of new and used golf balls, shoes, gloves, and accessories. Family owned and operated, check them out on the web at tndgolfstores.com. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we welcome you back to the Home Team. Glad to have you with us here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the Home Team with Paul Porter. Always good to see so many people tuning in on that. Kirk is joining us on the Facebook Live, and our phone lines are open. We do have a contest today with about $100 in prizes going to the winner. And last week, Al from Tampa was the winner of the contest. He was closest to the final score with the Buccaneers and the Eagles. And today we're doing the Bucks and the Saints. So call in with your guess as far as the final score and the halftime score, and we will get you in the contest. 727-441-3000. Well, last night, a lot of different things to look at as the Tampa Bay Lightning played their first preseason home game. The Buccaneers, or the Lightning, and the Carolina Hurricanes were going at it. John, you were there, and I was there, of course, and a $2.5 to $3 million sound system was put in. Did you have a chance? Did you notice anything different with the sound system last night?
I didn't notice anything different, but I did not have my hearing aids in at the game. I took them out before the game, so I didn't notice anything different.
Well, I'm sure management appreciates that comment.
Yeah. Well, I had to tone it down because it's pretty loud in there with that booming PA announcer voice.
$2 million.
Yeah.
What did you get? A new turntable or something? Or
No.
Tape
In fact, they've got a guy there that has a screen in front of him that it looks like something at Tampa International Airport. I mean, he's got all kinds of different levels, and he's adjusting that constantly, and it's very intricate, and they're still working all the nuts and bolts out of it. But they do have a brand new sound system there, and
does that mean your voice is going to be even louder, or
Well, I've heard from people that it's not real loud yet.
More crisp.
Yeah,
clear.
I think that's what they're hoping, that it'll be more crisp and clear. But and we got to look at a new goaltender that is coming in and actually is going to be the guy for the next couple of months at least, and that is Jonas Johansson. And I thought he looked pretty good last night.
He did look pretty good, and big guy, 6'5". He takes up a lot of space, but is there going to be any type of goaltender competition with the other goalie they've got in camp? They've
got like 3 or 4 of them. I think Hugo Oliphant is going to be the backup until Vasilevsky comes back.
Very well done, Paul, with that one.
Well,
I was listening to a little of the NHL Network, and a lot of these players are on what they call a PTO, professional tryout, and they'll be gone next week. They'll be somewhere else, not even in the AHL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's the equivalent to the FedEx UPS games, and we see it
tryout
NFL preseason. Those guys will be gone. Some of them will be over in Orlando at the Orlando Solar Bears. That is the ECHL affiliate, which is like AA, and AAA would be the Syracuse Crunch, if you use it in baseball terms. But when you look at not having Andrei Vasilevsky, how much is that going to affect this franchise?
I think it's going to affect it a lot. The team's going to be the complexion of the team is going to be a lot different this year coming in. We've lost two really stalwarts. They were a little bit slower. I think we're going to be faster. But until you really get to that first game and open up and the butterflies are out, you're really not going to see what we've got. I think we're going to be better defensively and better offensively. We'll be a little faster defensively with the back lines. But we've got to keep the puck out of the zone and just give this kid a chance to get his feet under him.
Which they didn't do last night. They had 40-some shots on goal. Carolina did. And keep in mind, too, that this wasn't the whole Carolina team. They had some of their regulars there, some of their starters, but not all of them. They played a split squad, and half the team was in South Florida against the Panthers, while the Lightning were entertaining half of the Carolina Hurricanes. I think a lot of people, though, are thinking, wow, no Vasilevsky, and we're in trouble. This team is not going to make it. And you still have the core there. But like John was alluding to, people like Alex Killorn and people like Pat Maroon and Ross Colton not there this year. Those are some gaps that have to be filled.
Yeah, but Vasilevsky is definitely the biggest one that they're going to be without. What's the prognosis with him? Is he going to have surgery, or
he already had surgery?
He did have surgery. Did he have fusion?
It was successful. I think it was a herniated disc that was the issue. They said it was successful surgery, so they say 2 months. So you're looking at basically right around the 1st of December that he may be back.
It's a difficult surgery to overcome, and the back is a big thing, and it could be linked something. And then how long is he before he's in game shape? After he's back. But it's a big piece of the puzzle there.
And is it going to be a nagging injury?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They saw with Ben Bishop, who was an excellent goaltender, but he couldn't stay healthy.
When you alter the body, it never turns out good. I mean, I've had fusion in my neck. I've got 4, 5, and 6 in my neck are all fused, and it definitely changes your life. Mike Allstott, the tail end of his career, had fusion of the neck, and that led to problems down the road. But the back is an even bigger thing because, I mean, the way he's bent over like a pretzel, for crying out loud, and he's getting shots, he's getting hit, and stuff like that. So
and mobility, you got to be able to move left to right. I want to say hello to Billy, and glad to have you with us, Billy, joining us. And also the salary cap, and that's the sole reason that Julian Brisebois has had to make some tough decisions and let people like Alex Killorn and also Ross Colton and Pat Maroon, some fan favorites. Corey Perry is another one that's not there. So it's going to come down to guys like Connor Sheary, who they picked up as a free agent from Washington, Tyler Mott coming over from Ottawa and the New York Rangers. Those guys are going to have to step up. Luke Glendening, I think, is a good addition to the team. Excellent face-off guy, and I think we'll see the difference as far as he is concerned. Phone lines open for you. I'd like to hear from you at 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. And another thing that Matt points out, and that is Steven Stamkos. He is not exactly happy. Very similar situation to Mike Evans.
I was just saying the
with
two of them
the
get a
Bucks.
room together somewhere, talk about their contracts.
Yeah, they're both under contract for this year, but both become free agents at the end of this year. And when your captain wants a contract extension and hasn't gotten it yet, that doesn't sit well. But yet, I can see Julian Breesma's point as well that, hey, he's under contract this year. Let's see, A, if he stays healthy, B, what kind of year he has, and C, how the team does with him. Then you have to make an important decision because he's probably looking at about $8 million.
But his agent's saying we don't want to take that chance. We don't want to. We want the contract now in case he gets injured or the team does not do well or whatever. So
you can really see both sides of the coin.
And can they fit him under the cap? It's going to be a big chunk out of the cap too, I would imagine. So,
yeah. John, your thoughts on Stamkos?
I don't think he's unhappy. I think he's unsettled. I think he's wanted to be here, and I think the contract will come. It may not be what he wants. He already took a hometown contract to stay in the Bass, so we'll see what happens.
By the way, since we're talking payrolls here, I did just to check on the Orioles and the Rays. The Rays payroll is at 27, and the Orioles are 28.
Wow.
The Rays are at $79 million, and the Orioles are 71.
Well, I think the Orioles' pay is going to go up considerably with the kind of year they had this year. A lot of guys are going to want to get paid, and the Bucks, or not the Bucks, but the Rays have been doing it just on the cheap all along. And the Orioles, I think, are going to have to come up with a lot of cash.
If you notice with the Rays, players don't have a specific position. They're put all over the place.
Yeah.
So they can't master one position where you can go out and free and say, hey, I'm a great first baseman, or I'm a great third baseman, or whatever. Or I'm a great starting pitcher, because his pitchers he puts out there for 3 innings. So you don't get the full level of what these guys are like. And you can pay them on the cheap.
Donald has entered the contest on Facebook Live. He has New Orleans winning 31-17, and the Saints leading at halftime 14-6. That's how he sees it. You can get on the contest by going to Facebook Live. John is there as well. John in Clearwater, and he generally calls in, and we'll look forward to hearing from him. 727-441-3000, the number to call if you want to join us on the program today. When you look at the situation as far as the Lightning are concerned, and look at all of the things they have to do, someone mentioned last night at the game, and I thought this was really good. If they could be 500 by the time Vasilevsky comes back, and it's probably going to be about 25 games that he is going to miss over the first 2 months of the season. If they can stay around 13-12, 12-13, and then get him back and have what appears to be, of course, it's only one game with Johansson, but what appears to be a pretty good tandem. Johansson, John, seems to be the guy that they were looking for to maybe play a third of the games so that they could rest Vasilevsky. Looks like they might be in pretty good hands with him.
Well, he's going to have to step up and show what he did last night. But I think you're absolutely right. You can't win the Cup or the playoffs in the first 2 months, but you can certainly lose it if you get too far behind. And they may be doing the opposite of what the Rays did. The Rays got off to, a 40-20 start? And if they went 500 the rest of the year, they'd be in the playoffs, which they are. They're just doing the reverse. We've got to keep them at 500 and then get them on a run in January, February, March.
That's pretty much, I think, what they're hoping for now. And again, it's only one game, but a 4-0 shutout was a pretty good debut by Jonas Johansson. So,
and Carolina had at least their top 2 lines there. They didn't have a lot of the PTO guys there. They had their top 2 lines there. That's why they had 42 shots on goal. So it was interesting. They were talking to Esimon. Is it Esimon?
Asimon.
Yeah. They were talking
Mikey
to Asimon last night after the game, and they were asking him about Johansson, and he says, well, I don't know. I'm not a goaltender, but he did a good job. I don't know much about goaltending. And they kind of was giving him a hard time. He said, well, I guess you don't know about goaltending. You're forward.
We just got the release courtesy of our good friend Eric Erlinson, who will be with us at 10:45 this morning. Playing today for the Lightning, you're going to see the big guys, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, all in the lineup today. Nick Paul will be playing, Brandon Hagel, Darren Radish, among others. Victor Hedman will be in action today. So they're going with the big guns today against Nashville. And those of you going to the game, a reminder, it's a 5 o'clock start. 5 o'clock today. The reason being they have another event tomorrow at Amalie Arena, and they need the time to get set up for it. So that's why the game was moved to 5 o'clock.
They open against Nashville, too, regular season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, the regular season, October 10th, and that's another early game at 5:30. And the reason for that is there's a triple header on television that day, and the Lightning are the first game of the triple header starting at 5:30. We need to hit a break. John has entered the contest from Clearwater. He has the Bucks winning 28-23, and he also has a halftime score of 10-10. That's how John in Clearwater sees it. We will take a break, and then your phone calls at 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000, and toll free at 866-826-1340. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, also at 106.1, and also at 102.3. More of the home team on all of those frequencies and Facebook Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
There's no place like this place anywhere near this place, so this must be the place. That's what they've been saying about the Palm Pavilion since 1926. The Palm Pavilion on the north end of the sparkling beach is a Clearwater Beach landmark. Situated directly on the beach overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, the Palm Pavilion is the place to order cool tropical drinks and watch spectacular sunsets. Tempt your taste buds with perfect pasta, sizzling steaks, chicken or seafood wraps, shrimp and crab chowder. Come for a day or stay for the night. A casual atmosphere featuring live entertainment on the deck. The Palm Pavilion Inn and Beachside Grill and Bar on sparkling Clearwater Beach. Visit them on the web at palmpavilion.com, or better yet, visit in person. 10 Bay Esplanade on the north end of Clearwater Beach. The Palm Pavilion Inn and Beachside Grill.
We're very happy to have with us today from Grace Family Church, the Senior Executive Pastor, Chris Bonham. Chris, why is Grace Family Church so popular among all different ages?
Well, I think we work really hard to appeal to all different ages. We want a message that is universal. We know the love of God appeals to all people and it applies to all people, but we also want to do it in ways that practically reaches them. So on all ages, we try to do a message that meets them right where they're at. So whether it's children, youth, adults, our messages, our topics, the way we deliver, we try to be very age appropriate. Some people like older people like me, and then they like some of our younger guys. Oh, this one might be more challenging. But in the end, they're getting a full, robust teaching.
I'm still trying to find a pastor as old as I am, but I'll keep looking. So check it out. Grace Family Church, now 7 locations to choose from. The new location in Clearwater at Grace Family Church, plus online. You'll find them at gfcflorida.com.
This is Paul Porter. For the past 12 years, we've not endorsed an air conditioning company on the home team. Until now, I'm happy to tell you about the family-owned and operated air conditioning company, Action Air Conditioning. David Russell and his family run their business with 3 principles in mind: honesty, integrity, and reliability. They've been in business since 1988. They service the entire home team listing area. From service to AC checkups to a whole new system, Action Air Conditioning is the AC company for you. Why do I speak so highly of Action Air Conditioning? I've used them many times at multiple properties, and I've been completely satisfied every time.
Visit them on the web at actionairconditioning.com. That's actionairconditioning.com. Or you can call them at 813-935-6644. If you're in need of an air conditioning company, take it from me. Action Air is your company. 813-935-6644. 813-935-6644. actionairconditioning.com.
This is Paul Porter inviting you to the largest fundraiser of the year for Reach Out, Speak Out, a 501c3 ministry that benefits domestic violence victims. Purple Passion is Sunday, October 8th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the New Identities Hair Salon, 15307 Amberley Drive in New Tampa. Well over 100 items and gift certificates for restaurants and services as well. And sports equipment, collectibles, and so much more. For more information, go to reachoutspeakout.org. See you Sunday, October 8th.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. Glad to have you with us on the Tan Talk Radio Network. And if you want to join us on the phone line, 727-441-3000. Phone lines are open for you. We're letting Matt get lazy over there as far as answering the phone. So we need to get those phones hopping, keep him busy at 727-441-3000. You just heard a message about Reach Out, Speak Out, and our big event coming up 1 week from tomorrow, October the 8th. It's our annual Purple Passion event, silent auction. We have over 150 items that are available for you to bid on. Everything from sports tickets to sports memorabilia to baskets of different fragrances and things for your kitchen and things for your holiday shopping, just a ton of different things there. And if you would like to join us, we'd love to have you come by. It's next Sunday, October the 8th, from 2 until 3:30 at the New Identities Hair Salon on Amberley Road in New Tampa. So I hope you can come by. We'll be there. I know a number of home team listeners have donated some items. Donald has donated a kayak to us to auction off, as well as a complete loaded tackle box and also a rod and reel. So he's got some fishing equipment there this year for the first time ever. So come on by the New Identity Hair Salon, 2 until 3:30. You can bid on the items, and if you're the high bidder, you can take it with you. It's kind of like a cash and carry type thing. So by all means, take advantage of that.
Sounds like Donald was cleaning out his garage.
No, it's some nice stuff.
Good.
He's got some nice stuff that I've already seen it. You'll want to get there and bid on that. Let's go to the phone lines. We have our good friend Gordy Zimmerman from Iceman Development, LLC, joining us. Gordy, welcome back to the home team.
Hey, good morning, Paul. Johnny, how you doing, bud?
Doing good. Johnny just asked how you were before you put your headset on.
Above average, Gordy. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good. Doing good. I love sitting outside at this time of year.
Amen. It's perfect weather.
Getting a little cooler. Just a hint of fall in the air. Absolutely. Gordy, I want to talk to you about a number of different things today, and we'll get to the Ray Stadium because you're in the development business, so you know a thing or three about all of these things going on. But we also have alluded to the fact that the Bolts are going to be without Andre Vasilevsky for the next couple of months. How big of a blow is that to them?
Oh, absolutely. I can say this. I was listening in earlier, you guys talking about it, but, a lot of these taller goalies, I mean, they're great when they're healthy, but guess what? I think their careers shorten up a little bit. You look at guys like, the guys with back in the 90s, with New Jersey and New York, their goalies were probably, 6'1", and now you got these guys that are 6'6", 6'7". I don't think their careers go as long. So, hey, look at Johansson. Bless his heart. He played a good game last night. I think John mentioned also, I was thinking the same thing, Johnny, that, Carolina probably had more starters in the lineup than the Lightning did. And, the kid got a shutout on 42 shots. So I always believe in new players stepping up and being in the limelight when they get the chance to do something, and I think he's going to do it.
That's exactly the way Vasilevsky was when he got a shot after Bishop was hurt. He came in and just really set the table.
Yeah, I think that always an opportunity for these young guys. I love Vasilevsky. Don't get me wrong. I think he's one of the world's best goalies. But, when a guy goes down, there's always room for a guy to step in. And I love that challenge. I've always been that kind of competitive athlete. When I was playing hockey, you get an opportunity, you take it. So.
Speaking of that, Gordy, last night we got our first look at Jonas Johansson, who had some brief time with the Colorado Avalanche, spent much of his career in the AHL, but only one game sample, but he looked pretty good last night. He stopped them all.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it wasn't on TV, and I couldn't get down to the game last night, so I ended up watching the Bruins and the Flyers. Now, that was a hockey game. And anyway... back to Johansson, just reading the stats on it and 42 shots, like I said, great for him, man. He's definitely a possibility, and I think he'll carry the Lightning in the 2 months. It might be a little longer, as you said, coming out of surgery. There's guys do great things now with rehab right off the surgery date, but we'll see what happens.
Well, they were looking for a guy that could play a third of the games so that they could rest Vasilevsky. And as it turns out, he's going to get probably 25 games of the 82, the first 25 under his belt already. And so he may be playing more than a third, maybe 40%, 45% of the games after Vasilevsky comes back.
Yeah, it'd be great. Well, I hope the Lightning get some. I don't know. You guys know any good deals on Lightning TV hockey this year? Because I don't see it on Spectrum anymore.
Well, they're not televising the preseason at all. And as far as Ed, you had something that you found that was really good as far as pulling in a lot of different sports channels.
Yeah, it's sportspass.rocks.
Okay.
It's not an app. Go to your computer. The other thing is you have to have one of those Google Chrome,
right?
Like the Chromecast that allows you to put whatever's on your computer onto your TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's $25. Yep. I pay $20 a month to get every sporting event you can think of that's out there, and live TV as far as Showtime, HBOs, and all the AMCs and all that stuff.
And what is it again?
Sportspass.rocks.
Okay.
I pay $20 a month, and like I said, it's not let me down ever.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is out there. Everything. Yeah. College football, everything.
Yeah, Spectrum does have ESPN back, and they do have Bally Sports. So the regular season will start to be televised. I think the first game is on ESPN, actually, for the Lightning against Nashville on opening day. Gordy, I want to get your thoughts. I know you're in the development business with Iceman Development, LLC. Your thoughts on the Rays Stadium. Is that a realistic timetable? They say that they're going to be ready for opening day 2028 after the lease expires. Can that be done?
Yeah, definitely, Paul. That's probably a 2-year build on something like that. They've probably gotten pretty far down the road, to even get it to the point where they can discuss it. So I'm in that area right now. Obviously, a little bit about what I'm up to, but there's a lot of due diligence that has to go into place for something like that, even though they've got the real estate there right beside the stadium. I think I mentioned this one time on a show before, but way back in the day when I was talking to Todd Lewicki and Steve Griggs, when they, were the two of them were running the Lightning, we were talking about locations and stadiums, and, the Rays have always had a tough time, down in St. Pete because they're kind of stuck in that little corner of Tampa Bay, and there's water on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Residential, and it's a tough area, and they have to develop and bring in more residential and a age demographic that's actually going to attend and spend some money. That's the biggest key. So I see they're kind of trying to do that a little bit, so that for the future can work. But if you're a businessman, you're probably looking for a demographic, somewhere more centrally located, going to have complete success. So that's how I would look at it.
Well, I think the situation was, and we talked about it earlier, John mentioned that Hillsborough County just didn't have the money that Pinellas County does, and they found a way to come up with $600 million, and Stu Sternberg is putting in $700 million to cover the $1.3 billion cost of the stadium.
And most of Stewart's money is coming from the development that they're going to get, the money they're going to make from that. So he's a pretty shrewd guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure, not sure how they all work their numbers, but they didn't have a problem putting in a new stadium for the Bucks and the arena for the Lightning. So I don't know. Hey, spread the wealth a little bit. I love St. Pete, great place to go hang out, so it's just far, and I think that distance, the drive time is real important for the average fan.
Tell us, be a loss of a lot of parking while they're building.
Yeah, they are going to put up some temporary parking garages and things of that nature, is my understanding. But it's going to be a bit of an adventure, that's for sure.
Yeah, parking garages do create revenue, so that's a key factor in development today.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you, Gordy. You're really busy. I can never get a hold of you anymore because you're always in a meeting. But what's going on as far as Trinity Commons and all of the things you're building out there in the Trinity area?
Well, yeah, it's been going really good, Paul. We Johnny and I went out to Brazil a couple weeks ago, spent a week over there looking at sports complexes and developments, and really unbelievable country. I know that you hear some rumors of, crime and things like that, and maybe the corruption in the government, but I think that's everywhere. But, great developments. And so we're going out and we're looking at other things and, in different areas of the world and seeing what is going on. I think that's the key in anything you do is research. And so we've got a lot of great things coming up. We're doing a lot of hard work right now on our GSA, which is our Global Sports Academy model. We're going to be you want to park it in the same category as like an IMG. So we're looking at multiple sports and, focused on that. Digit Murphy's with us now. Digit's nationally known and internationally, in the hockey world. She ran the Toronto Six. They won the championship last year. She, put the hockey platform together for the country of China. She's big in women's sports. Some of her closest friends are the commissioner of the LPGA and, the national rugby and national lacrosse champions. And, so we got a lot of great contacts with Digit. So we're working on those things, Paul. And, just to mention the Commons at Trinity, we call it the Trinity Development Initiative now as well for the bigger piece that we're doing. But we got a great fall festival coming up on August 7th. If you want to come out and just enjoy, it'd be a great day. The weather's awesome. We got a lot of people, it's probably our largest market this year.
Is that October 7th? October 7th? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, did I say August? I meant October.
We don't want to have to wait for 11 months.
Yeah, next week, actually.
Okay.
So, we're excited about that. I'm sponsoring that. There'll be a lot of vendors out there and just some fun things going on for the kids. We have a Light Up Trinity coming in December. That'll be about a 10,000 people event. We've got a lot of things going on there already, Paul, with soccer and flag football, the Mustang football program. And they had a couple of big games there. I know Mitchell comes over once in a while. And we got a beautiful turf field that we're even upgrading further to get some stands. And,
it really is.
Do some things.
It really is quite a sight. Gordy, we only got a minute left, but give us the exact location of where people can find all this that's going on out there.
Yeah, we're at 1540 Little Road, and we have a couple coffee centers there as well called Trinity Commons Coffee. So Little Road is in Trinity, right off of between 54 and Trinity Boulevard, kind of the gateway to Pinellas. Beautiful area. a buddy of mine owns the golf course around the corner, Fox Hollow. So if anybody plays at Fox Hollow, we're right there around the corner.
Well, we're looking forward to maybe doing some live broadcasts out there. Big Ed will be setting us up with some of those, I know, and we look forward to being out and seeing it firsthand and broadcasting from there. Gordy, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Go Lightning. They know they play a big game, so we'll be hopefully can't get down there tonight, but we'll be following it.
Tell Molly we asked about her.
All right. 5:00 game today, Lightning and the Nashville Predators. Stay with us. Hour number 2 of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, 1350, and Facebook Live coming up next. Hour number 2.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Linda Kenyon. The government is heading toward a shutdown midnight Eastern time as a spending deal appears to be out of reach. CBS's Christina Ruffini is at the Capitol.
The House vote on a short-term spending measure failed, frustrating beleaguered Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
What's in your back pocket, Speaker?
You guys, wait, nothing right now. I'm broke.
21 Republicans voted against the bill, and by extension, McCarthy, who's trying to appease the extreme right wing of his own party.
We've had failed leadership, and that failed leadership has put us under the gun and may cause some disruptions.
The Senate has put together its own bipartisan alternative, but some House Republicans have indicated they won't vote for that either.
A shutdown would furlough millions of federal workers and members of the U.S. military. Some would be required to work without pay. The auto workers' strike has expanded to include a Ford plant in Chicago and a General Motors plant near Lansing, Michigan. Union President Shawn Fain says workers simply have no choice.
We don't want to be out here. Nobody wants to be out here. We want to be in that factory working, making great product, making money for the company and making money for ourselves. But there comes a point in time where you've been abused enough, you have to stand up for yourself. And this is it. This is our generation's defining moment. Either we turn this around now, or we're going to be in big trouble down the road.
Workers are seeking better pay and benefits. Torrential rain in the past 24 hours in the New York metropolitan area. New York Governor Kathy Hochul calls it unprecedented.
It is the most rain ever recorded in a single day at a place like JFK, ever. Not just this summer, not this year, but ever. And the records are still coming in. We're still monitoring. The rain is still falling. And in some places, it'll be the most rain that has ever hit in 70 years.
States of emergency were declared in New York and New Jersey as 7 inches of rain knocked out several subway and commuter rail lines, flooded basements, and closed a terminal at LaGuardia Airport. A co-defendant charged in the Georgia election interference case has become the first person to accept a plea deal. CBS's Jana Jacobson reports.
Bail bondsman Scott Hall pleaded guilty to 5 misdemeanor charges of conspiracy Friday. Prosecutors say he breached voting equipment following the 2020 election won by President Joe Biden. The judge sentenced Hall to 5 years of probation. He also agreed to testify in any upcoming trials of his 18 co-defendants, including Donald Trump.
A deadly accident in Australia after a breaching whale capsized a boat off the coast of Sydney. Jihad Dib is with the New South Wales Emergency Services.
It's an absolute freak accident, but it also shows the dangers that do happen on waterways.
This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed, because Indeed's all-in-one hiring solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Did you ever think about hosting your very own radio show? Here's how.
Hey, Tampa Bay, did you know you can have a 1-hour program on the Tan Talk Radio Network for less than the cost of one 60-second announcement on many Tampa Bay stations? That's right. We'll put you on the radio for less than the cost of one 60-second announcement on many stations. Check it out today. Use your program to promote yourself, your business, or someone else's business. Call Lola Jean, the broadcast queen, 727-510-7622. That's 510-7622. Call Lola Jean now to check out your Tan Talk Network program. In addition to network radio, we'll stream your program in audio and video all over the world. Call Lola Jean now, 727-510-7622. Call today. Your network 1-hour program can start tomorrow. Broadcast your message in audio and video on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Pan-Hellenic News, on air live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. at 106.1 FM. Pan-Hellenic News, radio program from the Pan-Hellenic Federation of Florida. Wednesday at 4 p.m. Greek news, entertainment and culture.
Μια νέα αρχή για τον ελληνισμό. Μείνετε συντονισμένοι. Stay tuned.
Hi there, I'm Robin Savage, stand-up comic. Are you sick of the news getting pushed around by two sides, always saying the other side is wrong? You deserve to enjoy the news.
That's what's up, Robin. I'm your host, Mac James, from Stand Up for News. We're stand-up comics, and we tell the news. The news doesn't have any legs and can't stand up for its own self. Join us and special guests like local hero comics like Donnie Stopa, all the way to legends like Tommy Chong, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on WTAN Radio.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good?
Initialize sequence.
Hi, this is Pam Tillis. Hi, I'm Gina Lee Nolan. Hey, everyone, I'm Cassie Skirbo.
Hey, what up, you guys? It's your girl, Vivica Fox.
I'm Kathleen Gatty from General Hospital.
Hello, I'm Butch Patrick.
John Snyder. Hey, this is Jason Thompson from The Young and the Restless. Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle.
Hey, this is Frank Capra, the Guinness Book of World Records fastest talking woman.
Get connected on Hollywood Connections, sponsored by SunkissCharters.com, every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't. It's time for the home team. The home team is brought to you in part by Grace Family Church. Just try it. By Tampa Bay area Chick-fil-A restaurants, by Vermost Insurance, by Mahoney's Auto Repair, by the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach, by Irish 31, the place to catch your favorite team in action, by Iceman Development LLC. And now here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you, Bill Carl, and welcome to hour number 2 of the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, 106.1 FM, and 102.3 FM. I'll get it yet. I'm 3 for 4, which is a Hall of Famer if you're hitting 750.
Yeah, but it's like the hockey names. It takes you a little while preseason to learn them.
Yeah, there's some new names. Definitely, that is true. Want to get your thoughts on this, and feel free to join us on the phone lines, because this is a good topic, I think, that we were kicking around last night at the Lightning game that I think I've already posted it on Facebook Live. And that is, who is the all-time greatest athlete to have played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Tampa Bay Rays or the Tampa Bay Lightning? Who is the all-time greatest? Who would you say? Some have said Tom Brady. Some have said Steven Stamkos. Some have said Leroy Selman. Evan Longoria.
You can put Derek Brooks in there.
Derek Brooks. But if you had to pick one, and I know that Tom Brady has all the rings, but he was only here for 2 years. So I guess the question is, who has made the greatest contribution to Tampa Bay sports?
So I'm sure it was 3 years.
3 years for Brady?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 years for Brady. But who has made the greatest contribution, Ed, to Tampa Bay sports, in your opinion?
Well, if you start with football, Super Bowls, it's definitely in the mix.
Got one championship with.
I know, but he was only here
and,
for 3 years. But he got us a Super Bowl, and we couldn't have done it without him.
Yeah,
and when
but then Steven Stamkos won 2 Stanley Cups while he's been here.
It's hard to match sports, different sports against different sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to, baseball, hockey. I think overall, is it Tampa? Well, and then you got to throw in, does the guy live here? After he's done, he's still here.
But more on the field or on the ice
I have never listen. I've been watching football all my life. I have never seen what I saw in the last 3 years at the quarterback position. I was a big Joe Montana fan, John Elway, Dan Marino, and they were all different guys, and even Peyton Manning. But what Tom Brady did, and I'll never forget, there's a clip of when they played the Jets a couple of years ago. And there was 2 minutes left in the game, and the Bucs were down by 4. And there's the Jet fans are rolling on video, and the Bucs are at their 20. And this guy who's for some reason he's in a Broncos jersey stands up, and he says, "There's 2 minutes left. Brady's in. Y'all might as well go home." And sure enough, he brings right down the field. Once they score, the guy stands up and goes, "I told you to go home." But I've never seen something like that. I've never seen a guy that was so important, that one guy to a team.
Some of
Tom Brady.
Some of the questions, some of the names that are coming in: John Lynch, Marty St. Louis, Leroy Selman, being mentioned as well.
But Leroy Selman didn't play long enough. He got injured. And John Lynch moved away. He didn't stay here.
You have to look at longevity and success.
Or are you looking at athleticism? How athletic was the guy?
John, do you have a thought on?
Was he a freak?
I do. The first one comes to mind is probably our most recent Hall of Fame is Rondé Barber. I think he was on the field. He was a sack master as well as an interception guy. You look at any of the Hall of Fame guys, I don't know that you're going to have any Rays members on the Hall of Fame. Stamkos will certainly be in the Hall of Fame. LeCavalier is in the Hall of Fame. Marty St. Louis. You can always throw those in the top of the mix.
That's true. And when you look at Marty and Vinny, they got a Stanley Cup. They got our first Stanley Cup championship. But Stamkos and Andrei Vasilevsky have been there for 2 Stanley Cup championships. So,
But did any one of those guys actually take over the game? Could you say, actually, when he was in there, he took over the game?
Vasilevsky does sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's in the running. But a guy that when you say if he's out, we have no chance of winning or very little chance of winning. And when he's in, by golly, everything's clicking.
Let's go to the phone lines. Larry has a comment for us. Larry, welcome to the home team.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. Good to hear from you again, Larry.
Yes. I would say if I had to name a football player, I would think of Leroy Selman. I know if the years wasn't long, but I think after he finished the city, what he did for the city, he had a restaurant named after him. He had his own restaurant, then he had
his own road.
So that's something going to be there for forever. And that's how and the nicest guy you probably going to ever meet, if you ever met him before. I think football is great, sports is great, but what you do after the football is over, I think about I would even say John Lynch, but I know he went to San Francisco to do what he's doing, but he's doing a great thing at San Francisco. It would be nice if he could have done it here, but I guess because he was from that area, being other things, I think sports is great, but it's something like a guy become the coach down the road or whatever, who help people down the road, because what you do on the football field only going to last while you play. But I think your name is great because what you do after the sports is over.
Want to say hello to Frank, who's watching in Connecticut for this Facebook Live. Glad to have you with us, Frank. And, it really is a tough question. And, Ed, I don't think there's any one clear-cut standout that you say, it's so-and-so.
Like
Maybe
said,
Brady would be the closest, but he was here for 3 years.
Right. Well, you can say something about Leroy Selman and Larry. One of the got a great compliment from about Leroy Selmon. I remember when he was playing. I don't remember who the offensive line was, what team it was. But after the game was over in the locker room, he said, there's 3 things I never want to do in this life again. I don't want to do this, I want to do this, and I never want to play against Leroy Selmon again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the ultimate compliment. But that guy was almost a freak. I mean, but he did get injured early, and we didn't get enough playing time out of him. What he did for USF, the community, he had his restaurant here and stuff like that, and a tragedy left us so soon. He's in the running there too. You put Doug Williams in there. I mean, there's so many names you could throw. Mike Allstott's not even been mentioned.
Yeah,
and how much that guy is beloved in the city. But I mean, there's so many players in different variables. I don't know if you can actually pick one.
I think it's tough to pick across sports, as Ed said. You know, across sports, you could probably find an individual from each 2 or 3 from each sport.
Right.
You know, obviously, but championships go into the mix. You know, Warren Sapp had what he did for communities, Hall of Fame. You know, may not have been the greatest citizen, but Hall of Fame, and they had there's 4 Hall of Fame players on that defensive squad that won the Super Bowl, which is pretty amazing.
Well, let me throw it out this way, and we're going to continue. And I do want to get your score, Larry, for the Bucks and the Saints tomorrow. But if we had a Mount Rushmore of Tampa Bay athletes, there would be 4 statues there. And Ed, who would be the 4 statues?
You got to pick one from the Lightning.
Well,
you got to pick one from the Rays. I mean, come on.
I mean, you could pick all Bucks or all Rays or all Lightning, but who would be the 4 if you went 1 through 4, regardless of teams?
I'd actually have to think about that. I mean, you can say Stamkos has probably got to be in there. I mean, I would say Stamkos has got to be in there. And a guy like Tom Brady has got to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Does he go in the Ring of Honor? Does he go in the Ring of Honor?
I think so.
He will, but not yet.
I think he will before he goes in the Hall of Fame, because they like to do that.
John, you said he will, but not yet.
I think he'll be in the Ring of Honor, but not yet. I mean, got to be out a couple years, I think.
Larry, what is your score for the Bucks and the Saints tomorrow?
Before I give my score, Paul, I want to mention about the running backs. I know right now because it's not some guys are saying don't be a running back because with the NFL, they tag you, they don't sign you for a long time. And I was thinking a way to get away from that. Is it possible to say you could tag any player except the running back, and then that way he could sign or go somewhere else, and he won't be more happier that way.
Change the rules as far as the franchise tag.
Larry, you know what's wrong with the running back position these days, and they're getting hurt so much. There's no fullback anymore. Nobody uses a fullback anymore.
Fullback quicker, faster guys.
Fullback used to take the hits.
Yeah,
and then open that guy. But now you got a running back in a one back set that's getting pounded.
They're all on concussion protocol from getting hit so much.
Well, we know the old days, he used to stick a piece of smelling salt on your nose to tell you to get back in there.
Yeah,
the old days. What's your score, Larry?
Well, I'm going to go with the New Orleans close game, 18-13.
Okay, and a halftime score?
13-10 with New Orleans.
All right, very good. Hey, thanks for joining us, Larry. It's always great to hear from you.
Hey, one more stat, Larry. How many picks for Jameis?
You know what? I think they're gonna get smart. Don't throw too much. You got to run the ball. Maybe one.
That's right. One pick for Jameis.
Kamara's back.
We'll ask this to Eric Erlinson when he joins us at 10:45 or 10:50 or so on the program today. Thank you, Larry. Really appreciate it. Well, let's do this. We need to hit a break anyway. So after the break, I want both of you guys, and I will as well, give us the Mount Rushmore of Tampa Bay sports. The 4 guys that stand out the most, regardless of team, regardless of sport. Who are the 4 athletes that have been earned a statue on the Tampa Bay Mount Rushmore, which we'll construct right over by Dale Mabry and the interstate, and put it right there. Just kidding. More of the home team coming up on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, FM 106.1, and FM 102.3, as well as Facebook Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hi, Bobby Maggie here. You've heard me talk about your retirement tax bill and how devastating and expensive it can be, but it doesn't have to be that way. Attend one of our free seminars. Learn how to lower your tax bill and maximize your Social Security benefits. Attend our newest seminar on enhanced planning, taxes, and Social Security. Visit MaggieTax.com. Click on seminars and register right there. Attending our seminars will cost you nothing. Not attending them could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Register today at MaggieTax.com. That's MaggieTax.com.
Now is a great time to shop your homeowners and auto insurance. Alliance Mutual Insurance can lower your cost on insurance during these challenging economic times. Alliance Mutual, an independent agency, is in the Tampa Bay area, locally owned with over 20 years experience. They have access to dozens of independent carriers and can find the lowest price with the highest quality coverage. Citizens is not your only option. Call or text Bob Springer, a home team listener, at 727-481-1936. 727-481-1936.
Honest Mahoney's. That's what people have been calling LZ Mahoney for more than 35 years. Honest LZ Mahoney. The name really says it all. Mahoney's Auto Repair is a place you can trust. In fact, it was some of his loyal customers that came up with the name. Generations of people who've been taking their cars to 4040 54th Avenue North for 3.5 decades. Do you need some work done on your car? If his loyal customers call him Honest Mahoney's, that should tell you something right there. The next time you need work done on your car, take it to my friend LZ Mahoney's. He's been a part of the home team for nearly 20 years. Mahoney's Auto Repair. Or just remember Honest Mahoney's. 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. A place that people have called home for more than 35 years. Honest Mahoney's. 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg.
Irish 31 was inspired by former USF football star Jay Mize, who wore number 31. And is your home team place for all of your team's games. Watch parties for every USF road game, the NFL Sunday Ticket, NHL Center Ice, and MLB Extra Innings means you can check in on any of your favorite team's games while enjoying food and drink that's a winner every time. Irish 31, with 7 locations on Florida's West Coast, is the People's Pub, with a chef-driven menu, a place where you can feel at home among friends, make new friends, and enjoy the interaction with their friendly staff. Every Bucks game, Rays and Lightning, regular season, and playoff games are always on at Irish 31. The food and drink is second to none, and you can come for a drink, a meal, or to stay for the whole game. Find a location near you by visiting irish31.com. Is it time for new windows or a new door? There are tons of window companies out there, but I chose FAS Windows and Doors when it was time for new windows for me. How did I choose FAS over all the other window companies? I've known Ernie and John Wilding for nearly 20 years. They are father and son and started FAS Windows and Doors way back in 2005. In fact, FAS actually stands for father and son. They're Central Florida and West Central Florida's largest volume window and door dealer with showrooms and distribution facilities in both Tampa and Orlando. Their objective is providing the best quality windows and doors on the market at reasonable prices with a customer service level that is unsurpassed in the industry. I never promote a company unless I've either used them myself or done significant research on them. I've done both with FAS. Never an obligation when you call 866-737-7173 or visit them on the internet at faswd.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team, and we have a phone lines flood. We've got Matt busy over there, which is a good thing. And we alluded to going into the break, and I want to get all of your thoughts. If you had the Mount Rushmore of Tampa Bay sports, Ed, who would it be? So now you can pick 4 from any of the teams in Tampa Bay.
I defer my time to John first. I mean, come here on a day off to give me homework.
I'm going to say they cannot be active players, quite frankly. I think
no.
I think I'll put Rondé up there, Leroy Selman, Vinny LeCavalier, and
your audio.
Somebody's sending you a message there.
No, it's not me.
No, all right. Okay. All right.
And then if you have to go with somebody on baseball, I'd put Longoria up there.
Okay. All right. I would have, as far as the Mount Rushmore, and I got to put Steven Stamkos there, even though he's still active. But I would have Leroy Selman, Tom Brady, Steven Stamkos, and unfortunately, I would not put any of the Rays in there. I would probably have to go with Vinny LeCavalier.
Yep.
Vinny LeCavalier, Tom Brady, Leroy Selman, and Steven Stamkos. Those would be my four. Well, Ed, you've had some time to think about it.
I'm going to go with Vasilevsky.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Steven Stamkos. And I was trying to think of the Rays, but I don't know. I'm looking for that freak, and I don't remember anybody on the Rays being an absolute freak.
They just never stayed there long enough.
Well, I mean,
Evan Longoria was there for a while.
He was quite a bit in what he did for the community and stuff. But I'd go back to the Bucks and probably put Derek Brooks in there.
Yeah, that's hard to leave him out too. Yeah, that's another good one.
It's a Hall of Famer. Maybe not Warren Sapp, because Warren Sapp, he just did not mix with the community too well.
No, still doesn't. Still doesn't. Let's go to the phone lines. Lee is with us. Hello, Lee. You're on the home team. Hello, Lee.
This is Donald.
Oh, okay. We got the wrong number pushed. Is Lee there? Let's see if we can get Lee in there. Hello, Lee.
Hello.
Hello, Lee.
Calling you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're coming through loud and clear.
I'm calling you from the capital of Canada, Ottawa.
Okay.
I'm still up here. And Noah Leslie Bakery here, so I had to go to Tim Hortons and get donuts this morning.
Well, that's not a bad substitute.
Bad news on the goaltending this week, huh?
Oh boy, yeah. It's and the question that I had, and John, you had mentioned that he was trying injections to try and alleviate the problem. Why not just go with the surgery back in May, right after the season ended, or early June? He could have been done with this.
I don't think it happened last year. I think it happened over the summer. I think the injury happened over the summer. And you
not playing hockey then?
Possibly not, yeah.
Okay.
Because we've known him to get on the rooftop cleaning his, power washing his roof. But Ed said earlier, when anything you do to your body, it's not normal. That's the change in your body, and it's difficult. So,
injections is another way cortisone, and that's for pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so, can you tolerate the pain? In other words, you're going to have this until you get it fixed. Can you tolerate the pain with the injections? And the answer is yes or no.
But, a different perspective. Do we look at it as bad news, or do you look at it as really building up a goaltender that can complement him, and that gets him around a longer period of time? I mean, that's the
TBD, to be determined.
Yeah.
It could be that that's the case, and I hope it will be. I mean, last night it certainly looked that way, that they're building up a goaltender that's going to be the goaltender of the future after Vasilevsky's career is over.
And then you don't know if he's ever going to be the same again, because, what if he comes back and he gets blasted for 6 goals, and somebody's going to say, well, he's not the same since he got injured.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the other goaltender they had played the other game. They played in Canadian Olympic team and everything else. But I don't know if they'll keep him or not.
Yeah, they've got some guys in Syracuse, and they're rotating. I think they have 5 now goaltenders in camp now that Vasilevsky's not there. But I think they still have 5 in camp. So the competition right now, somebody's going to get an NHL job out of this because they're going to have a backup for Johansson. He's not going to be able to play every game for 2 months. So they're going to need somebody to step in there.
They cut a big chunk of players after this game today, from what I heard last night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In all likelihood. And today we went through the roster. It's a lot of the guys that are going to be here for all year. I mean, you're going to see Kucherov and Stamkos and a lot of the key guys that are going to be part of the
I was looking for
season.
A Robert jersey last night. They didn't have one in the store.
Not yet. He spells his name Robert.
No Rennie Robert? No Rennie Robert? Is that
No, this is Felix Robert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is,
right.
But it's spelled Robert. So, a lot of people would look at it and say Robert.
Robert.
Yeah, Felix Robert. And they also have a guy. There was a guy on Carolina, and I got the biggest kick out of this. Felix Unger. And he had another.
Okay, that's Felix Unger from The Odd Couple.
Yeah. There's another name after that, but his first two names were Felix Unger. And I'm looking at it, and we were thinking of all the music we could have played if we would have announced his name, but he never did actually have his name announced. But Felix Unger of The Odd Couple fame, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Well, how about Step on My Toe or whatever? There was a guy like that or something.
Yeah, Stephen Matteau. Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. Lee, do you got a score for the Bucks and the Saints coming up tomorrow?
I'll take the Saints 21-16.
21.
Halftime 9-7 Bucks.
All right. How's the weather up there in Ottawa?
It's 70 and sunny. It's supposed to be hot for another week and then get nasty.
Okay. All right. So when are you headed back south?
The end of this month, 28th of. I'll be here the 1st of November. Back to Tampa.
All right.
But I did get my hockey fix. I did go to the Senators training camp. So I did go for a couple. So
okay.
I was doing advanced scouting for the Lightning, I guess.
Well, we appreciate that. Tyler Mott is now with the Lightning, who was with the Senators, and of course Nick Paul was with the Senators as well, and now with the Lightning.
They might be trading Matthew Joseph up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a good player.
Yeah.
I always liked him.
Okay.
All right. You guys have a great week.
Thank you,
Is that
Lee.
John on there? Is that John on the radio again?
Yes, sir.
I haven't heard him in a while.
Yes, sir. Been on a little hiatus.
You can't see him on Facebook. He's sitting back, so you can barely see his knee there. Yeah, but
okay. Well, it's nice to hear his voice again. And I'm sure he's happy with his Atlanta Braves, right?
Yeah, I've already got reservations in Atlanta for the World Series games, first round, first couple games.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Good. All right. Good luck to you, John.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Please appreciate you checking in. We need to hit a break, and then we will come back. Donald, we're going to come to you and Anthony as well. Stay with us. More of the home team on Facebook Live, also on AM 1340 and AM 1350, 106.1 FM and 102.3 FM, all over the Tampa Bay area on the TAN Talk Radio Network. Stay with us. Your phone calls coming up next on Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com. Your number one home team fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Vermost Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Vermost Insurance Agency in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. That's vermost.com. We're very happy to have with us today from Grace Family Church, Senior Executive Pastor Chris Bonham. Chris, it's a casual church at Grace, isn't it?
It's very casual. We want people to come just as they are, not only in their walk with God, but also in their clothing and just in their demeanor. We want people to feel comfortable at church. So they can really sit and enjoy a message that's going to challenge them to grow. They can come with their families and that of all ages, that they can come and have fun. Believe it or not, it is one of our values to have a good time at church, not getting away from the Bible, not getting away from the spiritual teaching, but creating an environment where people are comfortable to come and hear a message that's going to change their life.
And you have services at two of the campuses, Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Right. Land O'Lakes and Van Dyke are the ones that have Saturday night service as well.
Outstanding. So check it out. Grace Family Church, now 7 locations to choose from. The new location in Clearwater at Grace Family Church, plus online. You'll find them at gfcflorida.com. Looking for a trusted lender to purchase or refinance a home? We recommend Brett Rupenthal with Mortgage Equity Partners, a direct lender offering unique programs to help people in all situations and financial backgrounds. Whether you are a first-time home buyer, savvy investor, or just looking to save money, Brett Rupenthal and Mortgage Equity Partners is the lender to talk to. Brett Rupenthal is branch manager with Mortgage Equity Partners, direct lender offering residential home loans. To reach Brett, simply text the words Home Team to 844-4LOAN-00. Brett can answer all your loan questions and provide fast pre-approvals. Find out about Brett's groundbreaking programs, like his famous Rate Protection, Lock to Shop, and Equity Savings programs. To work with a direct lender that Home Team personally trusts, simply text the words Home Team to 844-4LOAN-00.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the TAN Talk Radio Network and the Home Team with Paul Porter. Eric Erlandson will be joining us at about 10:50 today, the final portion of the program, and look forward to talking with him. Let's get back to the phone lines. We've got some people waiting for us, and we will start with Donald. Hello, Donald. You're on the Home Team.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back, John. Hey, Big Ed.
Hello.
Nice to see you guys.
Good to hear from you, Donald. And John, you got to keep those headsets on, John. He was talking to you, and you didn't even hear him.
Donald, thank you, sir. What's going on?
Hey, I was out there catching fish down in the Keys. Got some nice snappers, snook, hooked into some tarpon down there. Very cool in the kayak. Hook it into a tarpon and having a leap through the air, and the power that those things have, dragging you around. But looking forward to next Sunday. I did find that page, and I did post it on my page, and I want people to share it. I want people to come out and bid on some incredible auction items.
Yeah, if you go to reachoutspeakout.org, you'll find a list of all the items we have and all of the sponsors and all of the things that have been donated. We got a lot of things that are there. So you want to definitely come out, including a kayak and a fishing tackle box and a rod and reel from you, Donald.
Yep, and I'm actually going to be bringing some more tackle as well to put in that box.
Okay, all right. Well, we appreciate that. It's 2 to 3:30 at New Identities Hair Salon on Amberley Road in Tampa. Or again, go to the Facebook page. You can look on the Facebook page as well. Just put in Reach Out, Speak Out on Facebook, and you'll see all of the various sponsors and items that are listed there.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun. Today there's a children's fishing clinic at the boat show at the fairgrounds today. I'm volunteering there. I'm going to help them out.
Is that like the fish pond? I always used to win at the fish pond at the fair and all that.
Yeah, they actually have a lake. there is a lake there.
I'd always end up getting a little toy that didn't work or something like that. I never got anything good.
Yeah, or a goldfish. They used to give away goldfish.
Yeah.
At these things.
You used to be able to throw the ping pong balls, and if you landed in one of the bowls or one of the jars, you win. But it would always bounce off the rim.
I'd always get the one-eyed goldfish.
Well, Donald, you've got the Bucks losing to the Saints tomorrow, 31-17 and 14-6 at halftime, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to win in New Orleans. They've got a good run defense. New Orleans, we don't have a good running game.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus I think we've got a safety out, cornerback that's out. So it's going to be a tough game. Winston will throw an interception. I would put money on that, that he will throw an interception.
Just like old times.
Yep. But what will it turn into? Who knows?
Well, we'll see what happens. Donald, I got to move along. We got some other people waiting, but thank you so much,
Absolutely.
and thank you for all you do for Reach Out, Speak Out.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure.
All
Hey, you
right.
guys take care. Stay safe out there. Tight lines, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Donald. Again, you can visit Reach Out, Speak Out on the Facebook page. Just put in Reach Out, Speak Out, or go to the website at reachoutspeakout.org. Reachoutspeakout.org. Let's continue along. We have, believe it or not, Paula Porter is listening. There is a Paula Porter that's watching on Facebook Live right now. So no relation, I don't think.
Okay.
But glad to have you with us, Paula. And let's continue along. Anthony is with us now. Hello, Anthony. You're on the home team.
Hey, good day, guys. What a dilemma that the Bucks and the Lightning have. I know they're trying to structure for the future, but at what cost? I mean, if we have Stamkos and Mike Evans, and I talk with my friend, he says he sees them going in a new direction with bringing in younger players, but at what cost? Because Stamkos is the face of the Lightning, and Evans, he's up there in age, but he's still performing. And I think if it comes to losing both of those guys to their respective teams, it's going to alienate a lot of fans. And I think this is not the time to do that. They need veteranship more than ever now. And so I'm hoping that both organizations will pull the purse strings and tighten up and just give these guys some more time on the teams.
If you had to guess, Ed, and we talked about Mike Evans, we talked about Steven Stamkos, what do you think are the chances that both will be signed by the Bucks and the Lightning, or neither would be signed, or what?
I think things have to happen that are out of their control. One thing is Stamkos, which is in control, if he can stay healthy, and that's a great point you bring up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lightning are waiting to see what happens there. Mike Evans he's still the best player you got as far as wide receivers, and he's still, he's still getting down the field. He dropped a couple last week, but that happens. But with Mike Evans, I think you keep him this year. You got to keep him this year. Next year is going to be other variables. Do the Bucks have a winning record at the end of the year? Do they make the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like they're going to go forward? Because if they don't make the playoffs and they have a losing record, then Todd Bowles is gone. And then you are starting over.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the point where Mike Evans might say, well, listen, you guys are starting over, new coach, and there's going to be some new players and stuff like that. I would like to move on. So I think with Mike Evans, you have to wait and see what happens at the end of the year with the team itself.
Mm-hmm.
If it ends up winning, like I said, at the end of the year and makes the playoffs, I think he's back. If not, he's gone.
Yeah. John, your thoughts on that?
Well, I heard Julian Breezeball speak a couple weeks ago, and he's brilliant at the salary cap. I'm afraid to say that Stamkos could be gone if it's a salary cap issue, because I think all the professional sports teams are moving towards the way, like Big Ed just talked. It's just a new world down there. You just got to keep finding these players. Get them 5 or 6 years. You're probably not going to see a 20-year Jersey guy like Adam Wainwright for St. Louis Cardinals or Stamkos for the Lightning. Unfortunately, they sent Derek Brooks packing his final year before he retired. So.
I had someone mention last night at the game, and I thought there was a great idea, really. Give Stamkos a 2-year contract so he could finish his career with the Lightning and guarantee him a front office position. Community ambassador, something like what Dave Andrechuk does, because you want to keep the guy in the community, and this might be a way to do it. If he gives you a discount on the 2 years, then you promise him, okay, and you are going to be a member of this organization for as long as you want to be.
If that's what he's looking for,
mm-hmm.
Maybe he's not looking. Maybe once I'm done with hockey, I want to leave. I don't want to be part of the front office.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys don't make it in the front office when they're done playing.
Yeah, but community ambassador is something that just about anybody could do. They could go out and shake hands and sign autographs.
You pay those guys $100,000 a year, $200,000.
Well, he doesn't need a title for that. I mean, wherever he goes, he's pretty well known.
Yeah. but as an official, as an actual spokesman for them. That's Anthony. Give me your score for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I foresee a turnaround. That third game against the Eagles was a given defeat spelled out on the wall. So I'm going to go 24-17 Tampa Bay. Winston, no, I don't think so. So, and let me point out, Marty wouldn't be Marty if it hadn't been for Vincent LaCavalier, because Vinny took him under his wings when Marty came on and to the Lightning. And so, Marty depended on Vinny, and Vinny was his go-to guy. So, yeah. So I would say Vinny, of all people, is a pivotal part of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So,
another guy that was right there with those two is Brad Richards. How far would they have gone without Brad Richards? He was key in that Stanley Cup championship. How about a halftime score? Anthony, a halftime score.
Yeah, I'm going to go 10-6 Tampa Bay.
Okay, got you down. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Okay, I'll see you next Sunday.
All right, sounds good. We need to hit a break, and then Eric Erlinson will join us on the other side. Our Lightning insider will get his thoughts on the injury to Andrei Vasilevsky and how much that's going to affect the Lightning. And there's John. See him? If you're on Facebook Live, you got to, you can see his hands anyway. He is here. More of the home team coming up on Facebook Live. The TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and AM 1350, as well as FM 106.1 and 102.3.
Or you can download the TuneIn radio app and hear us anywhere. Just search TAN Talk Radio.
And archives.
And the archives, you can go to Internet Radio Pros or the TAN Talk Network website and look on podcasts, and there you are.
You can hear our very first show that we had here on the TAN Talk Radio Network about a month ago. More of the home team coming up on all of those things and Facebook Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hi, Paul Porter here. Bobby Maggie of Maggie Tax has been a home team sponsor for years. I trust you know this, but inflation is much higher than it's being reported. Prices are skyrocketing and so are taxes. There's confusion everywhere. Bobby Maggie can help. Visit MaggieTax.com and click on seminars. I attended this seminar and you should too. It's a 3-in-1 seminar on Social Security, tax, and estate planning. Don't miss this seminar. No cost to attend. Register today at MaggieTax.com or call 833-MAGGIE-TAX. Now is a great time to shop your homeowners and auto insurance. Alliance Mutual Insurance can lower your cost on insurance during these challenging economic times. Alliance Mutual, an independent agency, is in the Tampa Bay area, locally owned with over 20 years experience. They have access to dozens of independent carriers and can find the lowest price with the highest quality coverage. Citizens is not your only option. Call or text Bob Springer, a home team listener, at 727-481-1936. 727-481-1936.
Honest Mahoney's. That's what people have been calling LZ Mahoney for more than 35 years. Honest LZ Mahoney. The name really says it all. Mahoney's Auto Repair is a place you can trust. In fact, it was some of his loyal customers that came up with the name. Generations of people who've been taking their cars to 4040 54th Avenue North for 3.5 decades. Do you need some work done on your car? If his loyal customers call him Honest Mahoney's, that should tell you something right there. The next time you need work done on your car, take it to my friend LZ Mahoney's. He's been a part of the home team for nearly 20 years. Mahoney's Auto Repair. Or just remember Honest Mahoney's. 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, a place that people have called home for more than 35 years. Honest Mahoney's, 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg.
Paul Porter here to tell you about First Fridays at Raw Space Collaborative at the Groves of Wesley Chapel, just 60 seconds from I-75. First Fridays are the first Friday of every month, starting at 4 p.m. Your chance to network while enjoying complimentary cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, live music, and more. It's a family-friendly event that's not only fun, but a great networking tool for your business. Find out more by emailing rawspaceco@gmail.com. That's rawspaceco@gmail.com. Or call 813-575-8046. 6. Looking to buy or sell a home but don't know where to turn? Paul Porter here from Pollyanna Ward and the team at Innovation Realty Group. They're ready to work for you. New construction, buying, or selling an existing home? They can do it all. They serve our entire listening area. Uncompromising integrity combined with savvy negotiating is what you'll find at Innovation Realty Group. Visit their website, innovationgroupfl.com. That's innovationgroupfl.com. Or call 813-802-8415 to speak directly with Pollyanna. Is it time for new windows or a new door? There are tons of window companies out there, but I chose FAS Windows and Doors when it was time for new windows for me. How did I choose FAS over all the other window companies? I've known Ernie and John Wilding for nearly 20 years. They are father and son and started FAS Windows and Doors way back in 2005. In fact, FAS actually stands for father and son. They're Central Florida and West Central Florida's largest volume window and door dealer with showrooms and distribution facilities in both Tampa and Orlando. Their objective is providing the best quality windows and doors on the market at reasonable prices with a customer service level that is unsurpassed in the industry. I never promote a company unless I've either used them myself or done significant research on them. I've done both with FAS. Never an obligation when you call 866-737-7173 or visit them on the internet at faswd.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. Let's go right to the phone lines. Marshall is with us. Hello, Marshall. You're on the home team.
Morning, guys. How are we doing today?
Good, thank you.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to say I'm going to give my score real quick because I'm going to talk a couple of things. But I'll go 2017 Saints and 17 halftime Saints. 17,
and then you cut out. What was the halftime? 17 what?
17-10.
17-10 Saints?
Yeah. Real quick, I don't know. I just got out of Tallahassee, turned it on, and I was just wondering if we talked Rays playoffs yet, but I'm really sick of hearing what coulda, shoulda, woulda, if we had this, that, the other. I'm just curious to hear what you guys say about what are we going to do? What is this team going to do? I don't want to hear if we had this guy, if we had that guy.
We're both very concerned, John and I, about them getting knocked out in the first round, and Ed as well, in the first round by Toronto.
Yeah, it's going to come down to pitching, and all three of our starters have not had good outings the last time they out, and that was before they had clinched the top playoff spot. So I'm a little concerned they might be, logged too much time this year. We've got too many injuries. It's going to be tough. I don't know if you remember back early in the year, I called Toronto in the World Series. I thought they were going to be pretty strong. Their pitching has not held up, but it's going to be tough to get out of Toronto, and then you got Baltimore. So I think we can beat Baltimore. I really do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not with a healthy team, I think so. But I don't know what things are now.
We won 2 out of 4.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got to move along, Marshall. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
You do the same. All right. Eric Erlinson, our Lightning insider, is joining us next. Eric, thanks for coming back to the home team.
My pleasure. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you. And Big Ed is here as well. And glad to have all of you here with us. Eric, of course, the big news this week with the Lightning was Andrei Vasilevsky. And the question from one of our listeners for you, was this what was bothering him all last year? Or is this something, as John alluded to, that just happened over the summer?
From my understanding, it has nothing to do with last year. It was something that he first felt around the middle of August when he first started to get out on the ice and the captain's workouts out in Brandon there before opening of camp. And they tried to treat it with some injections, some other methods to try and alleviate it. And he felt fine. And then he stepped back out on the ice for the first day of practice and kind of felt it again. So, they tried. Look, surgery is always the last option in most of these cases, especially when you're dealing with the back. But, it just got to the point where he wasn't comfortable, so they explored it a little bit more, and this was the course they had to take. So there's no correlation between, what he said at the end of last season where, if you remember, he said, wasn't listening to my body very well. I had some nagging things. It's unrelated to that. It's unfortunate. These things happen 8 to 10 weeks. Might be optimistic. I mean, we are talking about a back and a guy who, kind of looks like Gumby at times with the way that he can kind of stretch and move around in the crease. So 8 to 10 weeks, we're probably looking middle of December, if not after Christmas, that they're going to be without the top goaltender in the world.
Well, when you look at what we saw last night, maybe you think all hope is not lost, because I was very impressed with what we saw from Jonas Johansson.
Yeah, and Matt Tompkins, the performance he put in Nashville on Wednesday. The team that the Lightning took to Nashville was not many regulars in that lineup, whereas Nashville had Rome Yossi and Ryan McDonough and Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly and a lot of their top guys. And Tompkins looked very, very good in that game. And then you look at it last night in Johansson's first opportunity in a Lightning sweater. And what struck me with both of them, and Chief sits next to me on road games, and we sit next to each other in the press box, and just the way that there's no wasted motion in either guy. You can see how calm they are in their crease. There's no overplaying the puck and putting yourself out of position. And both of them are bigger guys. I think Johansson's 6'5". I think Tompkins is 6'3" or 6'4". So they both got good size, and they use it to their advantage. Small sample size. But you have to be encouraged, especially Johansson, because he went in already knowing that Vasilevsky was going to be out, and then the spotlight was going to be on him, and he handled it. The good news is that these two guys are not young goaltenders. Tompkins is 29. He's been a pro for a while, played the last couple of years in Sweden, went to Ohio State, and Johansson's been in North America for a few years now, and it doesn't have a ton of NHL time, but he's got a little bit of NHL time. And, it's going to be interesting next 8 or 9 days before we look towards October 10th when teams start putting players on the waiver wire, and we'll see what the Lightning think they have to do in order to kind of tread water and make sure they stay in contention, because you can get yourself knocked out of the playoff race by November or December if you don't get off to a good start.
Only have a couple minutes left, Eric, but I want to get your thoughts on Steven Stamkos' unhappiness that he doesn't have a new contract. What are you hearing and thinking on that?
Yeah, I think he saw the Brandon Hagel contract and probably wondered, oh, wait a second, so why are we not talking extension? And I don't think it's the lack of contract that has him a little bothered. I think it's the fact that there really hasn't been many discussions or any discussion on that front. So I think that's kind of what had him a little disappointed. We'll see how it plays out. Steven Stamkos has been here before. The team has been in these situations before, kind of going into the season, without a contract next year. I don't think it's going to be a distraction, but it is something you'd like to have taken care of. It's hard to imagine Steven Stamkos not donning that number 91 Lightning jersey. I know players change franchises a bit in this league, but he's a guy that you would like to see finish his entire career in Lightning blue.
Outstanding. Eric, how can people follow you? You have some great information on the Lightning. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, you can find me on the format formerly known as Twitter at Eric_Erlendsson. That's Eric with a K _ERLENDSSON. Also on Facebook, Facebook.com/Lightning Insider. Same thing on Instagram. And the website's coming along. Might be another couple of weeks before the new website gets launched, but we're in the process of putting that all together. So LightningInsider.com. When it's ready to launch, it's going to be new and improved and better than ever.
Outstanding. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it. And,
okay, thank you.
All right. Let's get to the Rubber Cement Man. Hello, RCM.
Hey, everybody. I wish we could see John in that picture, but it's just that camera.
There he is. See him?
Yeah, but you can't see much. Yeah, hey, John. Hey,
He's waving to you.
I hear you got your own parking space. Yeah.
He's in the North 40. So, Rubber Cement Man, you've got the Saints beating the Bucks 31-6 and 21-3 at halftime.
Absolutely, and they need to get rid of Stamkos. He's finished. He's a has-been, and everybody in their career sometimes becomes an old gray mare out in the field, and you just need to.
Four cars just went off the road at Channelside Drive with that comment, but I don't think I can agree with you on that.
Well, I mean, it's okay that we agree to disagree, I guess.
Yes, sir.
That's
Absolutely.
what talk radio is all about.
There you go. All right. Anything else, RCM?
Well, I have a suggestion.
Go ahead.
Okay, because there's a lot of us that are on Facebook Live and stuff. Would it be possible that you could just put a recap, like Rubber Cement Man, 31-6, 21 this, or that, so we can all root? Because if I'm not going to win, then I can root for one of my other teams
that's part of the suspense. We announce the winner on the next show, so we'll announce the winner next Saturday. All right, and of course, some people actually write all the scores down. They listen the whole 2 hours and write down what everybody has. Thanks so much, RCM. All right, it's our turn now. Ed, let's start with you. Final score: Bucks and Saints tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints 34, Bucks 27.
All right, and halftime?
Halftime, I'm going to go with 21 for the Saints, 3 for the Bucks.
All right, Matt, how do you see it?
I'll go 21-10 Bucks and 14-7 Bucks at the half.
All right, Tampa Bay and Mr. Bycheck?
Saints 28-21, 14-14 half.
All right, we got that down. I have
two
the
picks
Bucks
for Jameis, by the way. 2 picks.
I have the Bucks pulling it out 17-14, and McLaughlin field goal, the difference in the game, and I have a 7-7 tie at halftime. Well, thanks to Gordy Zimmerman from Iceman LLC. Thanks to Eric Erlinson, Lightning Insider, for joining us on the program, and thanks to all of you on both Facebook Live and on AM 1340, AM 1350, 106.1 FM, and 102.3 FM. We will talk to you next Saturday at 11 o'clock on the Home Team on Facebook Live.